Hello craftspeople, and welcome to this year guide on how to display character names in Miliastra Wonderland, because this doesn't come out of the box.
Okay.
I uploaded a Miliastra resource asset that helps you with all of this, and I will explain how to install this. To import the downloaded asset, just go to Manage Asset Import Export, open the directory and copy the newly downloaded asset in here, and it should then show up as an asset pack here that you can transfer. This should leave you then with a player template that you still have to set as a default for all of your players. And so we can see that our character name is perfectly working. Now I'm going to show you how you would tackle that yourself. At first, we need to store some information on our player entity. So what I'm creating right now is a new player template. Has classic characters. What we need for this to work are custom variables. To adapt, one is a string and it's called active in all caps. At least that is my naming convention for custom variables. And a dictionary that has integers as keys, which is the character ID, and our character name as a string. And we call that characters. So far so good. Next thing we need on our player entity is our node graph that will set our custom variables so we can display them later in the UI. For this I created a node graph. Player has classic characters. This is a quite compact node graph that does a lot of useful things for us though. As soon as a player is created, it will send a signal that the player is connected, and directly afterwards it generates all the character names. So you have a dictionary of all the active characters that each player has. And we set this to the custom variable characters that we just created. So now when the player switches their character, when the active character changes, we set the custom variable active that we just created that will store the character name of the current character. And as you see here, we only get the classic mode character ID. There is no character name. So unfortunately, we have to manage this list ourselves. And this list in my asset lives in the composite node generate character names. You might think that this is straightforward and you just get these in your node graphs. That is incorrect. What you get is a ID for each character. And the only resource that we get is this beautiful list here, where we have a one-to-one relationship from ID to character name. So unfortunately, we have to manage this list ourselves. It's literally what you expect. In here, I hold 4 lists, because each list in Miliastra Wonderland that you create here can only have 100 entries, and we have over 100 Genshin characters. So yeah, you literally have to check whether the index is bigger or smaller than 100 or whatever the threshold is. Of course, those numbers are not linear, right? There are gaps sometimes. So here number 100 is number 113. If it's smaller, then check the ID in this list. If it's in there, put this string. If the character ID is basically over 100 or whatever the threshold is, then you take it from the other list. And finally, we export the character names dictionary that has the character ID as a key and the character name as a value. So in the end, you will be able to access this dictionary, feed in the character ID that you get from your classic character. It will return the string of your active character and saves that, like previously mentioned, in a custom variable. But that is basically it. And you should be able to now add, for example, a nameplate where you can insert the custom variable active and therefore display the character name. And now we have our name here in our nameplate. But as you can see, you can also use it in the heads up display and change any formatting you want. So with the basic functionality out of the way, let's talk about maintenance, because you have to update this every patch. For example, the character ID list. This is not live updated. Oh, lovely, and Nicole and Prune are also finally in here. Like before Lohan was out, Nicole was not in here. You usually have to wait until the end of a patch cycle or and a half for this list to be updated, at least in English. Keeping those lists up to date is kind of a hassle. We can just have a look at the process how you would update these as soon as this list gets updated. Ah, nice. There's actually not a gap between Linnea, Nicole and Prune, so we just add 2 entries here after Linnea, and we have the 31 and the 32, which equates to Nicole and Prune. And that is basically what you have to do every patch. Another thing that you have to maintain are the translations for the character names. So you have to take care of the translations for your character names yourself. Luckily for you, I have uploaded a gist on GitHub that I will link in the description. After you selected all the languages, you export your translations to a CSV file. You open this in a notepad or another text editor, add all the translations here. For the first time, you'd have to remove all of the names that were previously not translated. You save and re-import these, and you see that all of the name translations are now in here. If a new patch is added, you need to also add the translations here. In our example, I already added Nicole and I already added Prune. I hope that this video or this asset helped you a little bit. If so, consider leaving a like or a comment, but downloading the asset is more than enough. Happy creating! Quick reminder, whether you are a new or an experienced creator, don't sleep on the events in the Creator Front Discord. You can earn thousands of US dollars from these events alone. All you need to do is to add the current event tag to your uploaded stage description to win up to $1,500 each patch. Or alternatively, if you upload an asset, you have to add it to the title and the file name of the asset, which can earn you up to $600 US. On top of that, you can share your design experience in the editor on social media for a chance to win up to $1,000. And don't forget to redeem my special code in the description to receive 160 Geodes and 20 Primogems.